What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So this is kind of an interesting update because just yesterday the radio in this Mercedes was working just fine, and then yesterday afternoon I get in the car, drive to dinner, and it's not working. Like, it's just stuck booting up and the backup camera doesn't work. So I park at the restaurant, and then I come out after I'm done eating dinner. I start it up, turn on the radio, and it does turn on. The backup camera still doesn't work, but here's another thing. The caveat is it's stuck in FM, and I can't change to AM, Sirius XM, anything like that. Can't go into Bluetooth or navigation. I've already tried rebooting it a couple of times. The way you do that is just by holding the eject button for 10 to 15 seconds, according to the Mercedes forums. But no luck there. I've also tried disconnecting and reconnecting the battery. That has led to even more troubles. I mean, not necessarily with the car, but with the battery terminal, because apparently water has gotten inside that area, and the bolt in which the nut screws onto is a little rusty, and so it was hard to turn the bolt. And because of that, when it was loose, it was hard to get it tightened again. And so I spent almost all night, including part of this morning, getting it back at least secure enough so I could start the car and move it. But yeah, the connection is not 100% secure, so I'm not even going to dare drive this car until I can get a dealer appointment scheduled, because now, let's see, we had the battery changed 3 years ago this month, so it's probably due for a battery. I'm also going to have them change the bolt and the negative battery terminal, since those have been damaged. There's nothing like having a loose bolt damaging the battery terminal because you can't turn the bolt, or I mean the nut that goes onto the bolt, I should say. But yeah, I did manage to somehow get the connection at least good enough, tight enough to start the car, because I decided that if it was going to be loose, that I'm not even going to dare attempt to start the car or even move it, because that could fry the electronics, and when that happens, that's not good, because that could lead to even more expensive and frustrating headaches with cars like these. So I've done some digging, and it appears to be the COMAND module. Hopefully a reboot or an update will solve this, but if not, they might have to replace the entire COMAND module, and that is thousands of dollars. So if that has to be replaced, it's going to be a behemoth of a bill. And the shop we go to can't really work on COMAND, so that's unfortunate. I'm kind of at a loss for words, because I said earlier this year this car's been nothing but good to us, and now the radio doesn't work, or at least it's stuck in FM. The volume's stuck on 0, so it's effectively rendered useless. Can't go into Sirius XM, and we pay for Sirius XM on this car, so when the radio goes out and you're paying for Sirius XM, you're basically paying for nothing now. So normally we would sell the car if something like this happened, but because of the price gouging in the car industry right now, it's just not worth it. So we have pretty much 3 options: sell the car and get something else, take it to the dealer and have them fix it, but it'll be thousands of dollars potentially, or just live with it and cancel Sirius XM, and that'll be a pain in the butt to deal with for the next 4 years if we even own the car for that long. But yeah, this is just really unfortunate. I mean, I've loved Mercedes for 11 years, so that's pretty long. To put it into perspective, I couldn't even drive 11 years ago. So yeah, when stuff like that happens, it's just like I said, it's very unfortunate, and sometimes we just got to pay the price and give in. And I think that might be the right way to go, because well, we could trade it for an Acura RDX or something like that, but like I said, with the price gouging, it's just not worth it. I've looked at used ones like 2019s. They're going for like 36 grand. That to me is a ripoff, and well, I just don't feel like we should pay that because the car's not worth that much. And this has been going on since June of last year, so this has been 16 months in the making of this price bubbling in the car industry. It just makes me wonder how much the Mousemobile is worth if I were to try to sell it, but obviously if I sold it to a dealership, I would not get as much as they would resell the car for, because that's how dealers make money besides fixing cars that customers own. So yeah, more to come on this later in the week, I suppose, but I don't really have time to take this to the dealer right now because I have to work. So the earliest I could do it is likely Friday midday, and then I just drop it off at the dealer. Theoretically, they give me a loaner, and then they fix the car and have it ready for Saturday. The other option is drop it off Saturday and then go pick it up on Monday. But yeah. I also looked online. This is not the only GLC this has happened to. And that person had a 2016, I believe, GLC with over 110,000 miles. And the backup camera stopped working on him. And that was exactly the case with this car yesterday. Backup camera works just fine now all of a sudden. But they diagnosed it to be the COMAND module being bad. So they said it was going to be upwards of $3,000 just to fix the backup camera because the COMAND module went bad. So they would have to put a new COMAND module in just to get that to work again. That is it's just borderline pathetic. I mean, any Mercedes gurus or mechanics or whatever, any Mercedes longtime fans or lovers or owners, you can disagree with me all you want, but when stuff like this happens, just to put it into perspective, the radio on my car still works just fine and likely will for a long time. And we've never, ever, and I mean ever, had a car that has had a radio die. And usually that only happens in really old cars. So when you think about that, and think about the fact that this is happening with a 6-year-old Mercedes, it just really goes to show you how crappy German electronics can be at times. And this, frankly, is one of those times. So I guess if you're a GLC owner or a Mercedes owner of any kind, you let me know if you've had radio problems with your Mercedes. But this to me is just ridiculous. And well, if it costs a lot of money to fix, then we might be in a world of hurt, all because of this car market. Because, you know, we would sell the car and get something else if it weren't for that, because it wouldn't be worth fixing. And it, honest to God, still isn't, despite the price gouging. So you just can't win when you own a Mercedes, I guess. But till next time, peace out.